We're in the home stretch now, with today being the final day of this sleet/ice event we have been occurring. So this is my final update on this whole system. I will also be going over my general performance for the past couple days and a quick debrief on how strong this really was. So the National Weather Service watches and warnings. The winter weather advisory is currently in effect to 2 a.m. For now. I do expect a freezing rain advisory to be issued for the Portland metro area, probably going to the early afternoon hours. The records that were set through this event, surprisingly, none. However, one record is still outstanding that I do not have the information of. The daily snowfall/sleet fall may be broken on December 23rd, as the current record is only 1/10 of an inch. If I do get word whether it was broken or not before this gets uploaded, I will put that in the description. The overall strength of this Arctic blast, the lowest high temperature recorded was on December 22nd, which was 25 degrees, the coldest since February of 2014. Because the high was under 26 degrees, which is my cutoff for an Arctic blast when it comes to high temperature qualifications, this makes it the first Arctic blast since January of 2017. If you want to look at the other qualifications, please check out the video I posted 3 days ago on that. This also had the strongest east wind event, aka gorge influence, since at least 2004, possibly 1989. Now, the Crown Point wind gauge did get blown off, so we do not know how strong it actually got. But Crown Point gusted to at least 87 miles per hour. I suspect to at least 95 or 100 miles per hour after it got blown off. Performance overall, the high and low temperatures that I forecasted the day before were within a degree on both days, both Thursday and Friday at Portland. In Corvallis, I was a little less accurate, just generally fine on Thursday, but I was a little too warm on Friday, too quick with the warm-up. Also, I had surprisingly little variance when it came from 3 days before to 1 day before, where I don't even think I adjusted the high temperature on Thursday, and the low temperature I only adjusted by 1 degree. Precipitation amounts were fine as well. I was aggressive with how long we'd be in the sleet snow phase, and it paid off for the Portland metro area, because essentially almost all the precipitation that occurred over the Portland metro area was sleet or freezing rain sleet mix. Accumulations were anywhere from about 0.3 of an inch to an inch of sleet in the Portland metro area, with about 1/2 of an inch I'm seeing as the most widespread amount, at least on the public information statement. About 1/10 of an inch down in Corvallis. I do not see any reports of Eugene getting any sleet yet, though I have seen reports of Salem having some sleet out of this. Now, straight into the setup for Saturday's system, and it's very similar to what occurred a few days ago with this first sleet maker, where you have a low pressure system pretty far to our north off the coast of northern BC, and that is going to be bringing southerly winds aloft like before, but this time that's actually going to mix down to the surface and bring it up from the south. It'll first reach the southern Willamette Valley in the early morning hours, and then come up and breach the Chehalem Mountains at right around when the precipitation arrives at 9 o'clock, and then break Portland later. The gorge influence will not be as strong today as it was the previous event, with gusts only probably reaching into the low 30s rather than the 80s or 90s at Crown Point, though higher gusts may exist briefly there. In the Portland metro area, that translates to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. As it'll also be one big band of precipitation like before, instead of more of a few cells, showery nature like what occurred yesterday. For reference, these are the forecasting zones that I have used throughout this event, and I will use it for one final time today. For Zone 1 in the Portland temperatures, or the temperatures at the Portland airport, I do expect temperatures to hold steady around 28 degrees throughout the night, with a pretty slow warm-up throughout the day as the gorge gets ramping up again as the band of precipitation goes on shore, but eventually it goes flat and that east wind engine stops, and it will eventually warm temperatures up slowly above freezing by Saturday evening to Sunday morning. Ice, I'm expecting anywhere from about 1/4 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch by 9 p.m. on Saturday, with higher totals the closer you get to the gorge. For the specific time frames that I'm expecting, as I mentioned, the west and south metro, because I expect the main precipitation band to occur at around 10 a.m. I'm giving it an extra hour to filter through the entire Zone 2 area. Downtown Portland / Lake Oswego, I'm expecting that thaw to begin at around 1 p.m. Portland Airport thawing at around 4-ish, and Fairview and East, I'm thinking it'll be below freezing till around 11 o'clock. And the reason why, well, one reason why I'm expecting the temperatures to be below a lot of other forecasters is because the snow / sleet albedo effect should keep temperatures down more than they typically would under this setup. Also, the gorge influence tends to last longer than what computer models show. However, if areas melt quicker than forecasted, they will be warmer than what I am forecasting. Just also for reference, just to not confuse you with why the 37 here is warmer than the 35 here that I'm showing for Zone 1. The temperatures shown are daytime high temperatures because it's Christmas Eve. You're probably not going to be out late at night, considering most restaurants and businesses are closed after about 6 o'clock from what I'm noticing. For Zone 2, I'm expecting the high temperature to be in the mid 40s tomorrow, with steady temperatures after the high temperature is reached going on to Christmas Day. For Corvallis, I'm expecting much warmer temperatures, with the around 50-degree high going up to probably, I would say, up to Woodburn, maybe as far as Aurora. Temperatures dropping to the mid 40s before warming back up on Sunday, and Christmas Day will be pretty warm for areas in the Willamette Valley. So on to the 7-day forecast. I do expect Christmas Day to be right at about 57 or so degrees before a quick-ish cool down Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is going back to degree or two above normal for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Also, lows get back to pretty reasonable 40 to 43 degrees. While chilly for the valleys, it is average, which means that there's going to be a decent amount of mountain snowfall. For the Portland metro area, 1 day of freezing rain, especially eastern metro area, followed by a somewhat of a warm up on Sunday, though 10 degrees colder than what the Southern Valley will experience. 2 days in the 50s, followed by days in the mid to upper 40s for the rest of the foreseeable future, though lows will remain steady in the low to mid 40s. Right, thank you for sticking with me through this entire update. Again, this is the final video that I am putting out on this event. And until either next event, or if there is no more events this winter, the winter weather verification video, I will talk to you later, and please stay safe out there and take care.